Hello students, in this lecture number 33 on CPC, I am going to discuss with you very important provision that whether the principle of res judicata is applicable to execution proceedings or not, and if the answer is in yes, then how to draft the application under section number 11 during the execution proceedings. Now let us start the video. It is very important to note that from the very initial stage when the CPC had been drafted, the principle of res judicata was not applicable in the execution proceedings strictly. Okay, what is written in my notes? Prior to addition of explanation number 7 to section number 11, the principle of res judicata was not applicable during the execution proceedings strictly. That means to say, strictly the principle of res judicata was not applicable during the execution proceedings. However, the Supreme Court of India in Prem Lata versus Lakshman Prasad AIR 1970, Supreme Court 15 to 5 held that the general principles of res judicata are applicable even to the execution proceedings. Okay, so in 1976 there was amendment in CPC, and wide amendment act of 1976 explanation number 7 was inserted to section number 11, and after this insertion the principle of res judicata is applicable to the execution proceedings directly. Okay, I am mentioning the word now. The principle of res judicata is applicable to the execution proceedings directly, not indirectly. And references in section number 11 to any suit, issue or former suit shall be construed as references respectively to a proceeding for the execution of the decree, question arising in such proceedings, and a formal proceeding for the execution of that decree. That means to say, the word suit will be replaced by the word of execution application. Word issue shall be replaced by the word questions arising in execution proceedings, and formal suit will be replaced by the word former proceeding for the execution of that decree. That means to say, after amendment in the year 1976, now the principle of res judicata will be equally applicable to the execution proceedings as it is applicable in civil suit. Okay, so this is the new amendment which was made in the year 1976. Now the question arises how to give the application under section number 11 of CPC. So first of all, in the drafting portion, first of all, we will mention the name of the court in which the execution application is pending. So in this case, it is in the Court of Civil Justice Senior Division, Kapurthala. Kapurthala is the district name. Thereafter, name of the parties will be given: ABC versus XYZ. In this case, ABC is the decree holder and XYZ is the judgment debtor. DH means decree holder, JD means judgment debtor. And who is making the present application? This present application is made by XYZ, who is the applicant of this application, whereas ABC is the respondent of this application who will give the reply to the present application. And what is the subject matter of this application? This is the application under section number 11 of CPC 1908 for dismissal of execution application as being barred by res judicata. Okay, first of all, respect should be shown in your drafting. So the presiding officer will be very humbly submitted that respected sir, most respectfully stated as under that the above noted execution application is pending before this honorable court and the same is fixed for today. Okay. Number two, that the decree holder had filed a recovery suit of rupees 15 lakh against the judgment debtor, which was decreed on 5th of April 2019. Okay, so this was the history why he has given the application. That thereafter the judgment debtor had filed an appeal against the above noted judgment and decree, and the appellate court modified the above said decree by upholding the recovery of the principal amount. So, what is stated in this para that the appellate court in the appeal modified the decree but uphold the recovery for the principal amount. The appellate court said that ABC is entitled for the sum of rupees 15 lakh. However, interest was reduced from 12% per annum to 8% per annum. The copy of the judgment and decree of the appellate court is attached along with the present application. This is very important. You have to attach the copy of the judgment because you are solely relied upon this copy of the judgment in support of this present application. So I repeat para number 3, that thereafter the judgment debtor had filed an appeal against the above noted judgment and decree, and appellate court modified the above said decree by upholding the recovery of the principal amount. However, interest was reduced from 12% per annum to 8% per annum. The copy of the judgment and decree of the appellate court is attached along with the present application. Okay. That no further appeal, review or revision was filed by the decree holder against the above said order of the appellate court, wherein the rate of interest was reduced from 12% to 8%. And judgment and decree of the appellate court has become final. Okay. In para number 5, I have stated that decree holder, however, has filed the present execution application claiming the decretal amount that has been passed by the trial court, not by the appellate court, on the basis of judgment of the trial court, and he is claiming the interest at the rate of 12% per annum. Number 6, that after filing the present execution, the judgment debtor oblique applicant had already deposited the decretal amount as per the judgment and decree of the appellate court, which has been modified, and the same amount has been withdrawn by the decree holder from this honorable court. Okay, if he has already received the amount, then in that case it means that his execution has been completely satisfied. But now the decree holder has filed an application for the attachment of the property of the judgment debtor for the recovery of the remaining amount in terms of the decree of the trial court unlawfully and illegally. Although no appeal was filed by the decree holder against the judgment and the decree of the appellate court. Okay, therefore, filing of the present execution application is clearly barred by the principle of res judicata. Why I am applying this principle here? Because in the earlier proceeding of the execution, amount has been received by the decree holder. So now it will become the res judicata, and now he will not be entitled to take any amount from the judgment debtor. So what is my prayer? In view of submission made above, it is hereby most respectfully prayed that the present execution application of the decree holder be dismissed as being barred, as the principle of res judicata is applicable in the fact and circumstances of the case, and to pass any further order which this honorable court may deem fit and proper in the interest of justice and equity. And here the name of the place where the application is to be written. Secondly, the applicant oblique judgment debtor will put his signature on the application, and this application has been drafted through his counsel, Ashish Kumar Advocate, which is my name. And thereafter, there will be verification clause, verify that the contents of my application are true and correct, and nothing has been falsely stated therein. This application is verified at Kapurthala, verified on dash. Applicant oblique judgment debtor will again put his signature after the verification clause, and in this way, I have drafted my application under section number 11. Thank you very much.